Hello, Geminis, and welcome into your reading for the first half of October, where we'll be taking a look at jobs and careers, love and relationships, and life path and mission. So before we jump into that, we're going to take a look at our crystal deck, or this is part of the crystal deck. It's kind of a neat one, but there's some different things about life paths, and there's these QR codes, so you can scan them and it'll pull up different sounds and music that you can meditate to. But let's see what crystal the divine is encouraging you to work with in the first half of the month. What is this? Citrine and Aqua Aura Quartz. So citrine is that pretty yellow one, and that one is on confidence, self-esteem, and expansion. So let's see how that relates to some of our other messages that are coming through. So before we look at those three areas that I mentioned, let's pull a few cards just to see what the overall energy for you for the first half of the month is. So we do have some changes that are coming up. The biggest one being there's the solar eclipse in Libra on October 14th. And that is going to be inspiring us to reflect on our relationships and also on practicing self-love. So it's kind of about balancing those relationships. We had the discussion over the last couple months about North Node in Aries and about being unapologetically you and kind of that healthy level of selfishness and making sure that you're not putting everybody else's needs in front of yours to your own detriment. So this is kind of that period again of practicing self-love to heal some of your emotional wounds. So definitely an extra emphasis on meditating, journaling, grounding, whether for you, maybe that's going for walks in the park or sitting out on your porch or your balcony and listening to the birds, connecting with nature and really grounding. All right, so let's take a look at three cards for you. We have the Three of Wands, we have the Queen of Swords, and we have the Page of Pentacles. So here, and I'll hold these up since this is a little bit of a different deck if you wanted to see what those look like. So here's the Page of Pentacles card. And we have our Queen of Swords card. And then we have our Three of Wands card. So the Three of Wands, this is about like travel and freedom and growth. So that goes along here with this expansion and kind of really trying to get into that energy of freedom and being yourself and not feeling like you're being tied down to what other people are wanting you to do or expecting you to do. It's what is making you happy and what is igniting that fire in you. So we have Queen of Swords energy as well, which is that kind of open-minded, independent, perceptive type of energy. So open-minded to new travel, new experiences. And then we have our Page of Pentacles. So this is that loyalty, consistency, and ambition. So it's that sense of even if you are, going out and doing other things, you still have that loyal energy. So you're still committed to the things that are important to you, but you're also branching out and doing things for you. So kind of some of that confidence and that self-esteem part. So let's dive into the rest of the reading where we're looking at, the jobs and love and life path. So a few other things that are happening. Pluto goes direct on the 10th. And other than that, the rest of the retrogrades are still in place and nothing else is changing. So we still have Saturn, Neptune, Chiron, Uranus, and Jupiter in retrograde. So with Pluto going direct, that's kind of about, you'll see your transformations are picking back up. During that retrograde time where, since Pluto's the destroyer, it's kind of forcing you to go inward to take a look at what needs to change, what beliefs need to go away, what routines, what scenarios need to be addressed or gone away with. But now you'll start to see the actual transformations associated with it. On the 8th, we have Venus entering Virgo, and that's going to put some additional, attention on people that you care about. So really thinking about that. The Sun card flipped. And then on the 12th, we have Mars entering Scorpio. So that's really that passionate, intense type of energy. So that's going to be a good time to use that energy to come back from defeat, or, like kind of stand up for yourself, using your willpower to create change, and kind of that dramatic type of energy. So let's go ahead and jump into jobs and careers. In the recent past, we have our King of Pentacles in reverse, currently sitting at Page of Cups in reverse, with the likely outcome being the Five of Cups. So with your King of Pentacles in reverse, that's there has been some financial irresponsibility from a job perspective, maybe some like greediness or exploitation, almost kind of like you're using other people or scenarios to get what you want, like that sort of energy. But also that element, that financial irresponsibility, like you're not really tending to your finances. It's kind of this, sure, I'm going to do this, I'm going to do that. So that's in the recent past where you have been. And now you're in that kind of insecure, disappointed type of energy. So that's kind of pushed you into that type of energy. And then you have the next level of energy from a job perspective is kind of this grief or sadness. Like, you're focusing on what you've lost. So, some of this energy, this like greedy type of energy, is kind of coming full circle, where now you have that feeling of, look at what I've lost because of it. So a little bit of a tough message there on the job side, but let's see what like the next level is, since this is looking at, the first half of October and what's coming in there. Let's take a look more at the end of the year, so a couple months out. What does it look like for our Geminis? We'll pull 2 cards here. So we have the Two of Wands and we have the Ten of Swords. So the Two of Wands is going to be that decision making. So there is kind of that personal power type, like you have these decisions. You can choose which one you're doing, but you have a decision to be made. And then with the Ten of Swords energy, that's just that sense of being like defeated, that exhaustion, betrayal. Maybe it actually is a stab in the back, but just kind of feeling like, I just can't anymore. So let's take a look and see, based on that, we'll look at some timing cards. When do things look to be turning around for our Geminis on the work front? Since that's a lot of heavy energy out there. Let's see. Once you let go of the past. So for some of you, it could be a matter of, you're kind of spinning your wheels at a job that you're not happy with. And so you kind of keep feeling this sense of, you're trudging through it, and, you keep getting stabbed in the back. You keep getting exhausted. You're burned out. It's like you're done. And that energy is going to shift once you let go of the past. Once you let go of, I'm doing this because I've always done it, then things will start to shift for you. So it's a matter of, with some of these timing cards, they're structured like that. Like once you let go of the past, some of them, it's more specific, like around your birthday, in the next 6 to 12 months, in the summertime, those types of things. So when it comes out like this, where it's kind of conditional, once you let go of the past, it means that you need to participate in changing this energy. Like more so, you always need to be participating, but more so than if it says, oh, it's, around your birthday, then it's kind of like, okay, well, it's going to take a while, for Geminis, that would be next summer. That if it said something like that, it kind of has more of a sense of, you just kind of need to wait some of it out. But when it's worded like this, once you let go of the past, it means that a lot of the problems that you're having are related to you not wanting to deal with a certain situation, with you not wanting to fine tune what you're doing or make changes. So that would be kind of the call here, is that you need to be participating more so in changing some of these dynamics. All right, love and relationships. In the recent past, we have the Star in reverse, currently sitting in Ace of Cups, and the next level is the Hierophant. So the Star in reverse is, you're in the recent past, or you're kind of coming out of that energy of having a lack of faith and some distrust, and like you're uninspired in your relationship. So maybe maybe it's a situation where the other person has specifically done something that has caused you to lose trust or lose faith in them. Or if it's a timing issue where things are just going really slow, it could be a lack of faith, a lack of trust in the divine, in the universe, in the timing that everything is going to work out the way it's going to work out. So in the current energy, the Ace of Cups energy, that's that creativity and that inspiration. It's that love. So, you're coming out of that sort of energy and now moving into more of an energetic place of feeling inspired, like, okay, this is going to work out. How do I get it to work out? How can I creatively, not handle the situation? How can I creatively interact with my partner to create a better situation, to create a more harmonious dynamic? So there's going to be some creativity that's going in there. And then in terms of the Hierophant, that's that kind of traditional structure, that teacher, mentor, guru. Sometimes this card is related to marriage, since that's a very traditional structure, and it has to do with like your higher callings and being a leader, being a way shower. So it looks like things are going to be getting back on track if you're coming off this energy of kind of that tough energy of feeling uninspired, feeling like there's like a lack of faith of where's this relationship going, where are things headed. So let's take a look now at life path and mission and see what message is coming up for you, Geminis. All right. In the recent past, we have the Moon in reverse, currently in the Four of Cups in reverse, and the next level of energy is Strength in reverse. So you're coming out of this sense of like kind of confusion, a little bit of like self-delusion about what is your path. So it's almost like you've been sitting here thinking about it. You've been wondering. You don't really know. You're kind of struggling. You're kind of struggling in terms of what is that mission? What am I supposed to be doing? And it's pushed you into this sense of kind of like accepting what cannot be changed. There's an element of self-awareness and sadness to it. And it could be a matter of, I thought this was my calling. Maybe it's not, maybe, that type of energy. Because then the next level that's coming in here is this kind of weak energy, this uncontrolled emotions and vulnerability and not really rising up. It's almost like it's kind of made you start to question everything. Like this confusion has made you start to question everything, and it's this slide. And as you get more independence, like this overall energy here of, like we had talked about, where it's that kind of travel and growth and freedom and being open-minded and, having that loyalty to what's important to you. But it's almost like this type of energy is coming about because everything here is shifting and you don't really know what to do with it. So let's pull a few more cards and see what other context we can get here for our Geminis in terms of what is on the horizons with you and your life path and your mission. What do our Geminis need to know about that? I'll pull two cards there. So we have Ace of Swords and we have the Tower. So Ace of Swords is that, that sense of breakthrough and clarity and new projects. But then we have the Tower. So, it did come out with this card first, then the Tower, but it could be flip-flopped around, like the Tower comes first, or I guess maybe more of a matter of you have this breakthrough and this clarity in your mind and kind of like this idea for this new project and this new direction that your life wants to take. But in order to go down that path, something else has to totally fall away. Like something else needs to be stripped down, massive changes there, a big upheaval. And sometimes with the Tower, it has associated with it like a loss of money or security or happiness. So it could be that whatever this new idea is that you're being pulled towards, it's going to create, I'll say it, like a lack of security. It's going to take a bold move. It's going to take something that maybe is uncomfortable, like outside of your comfort zone, to be able to have that come to fruition. So that's on a your life path mission perspective. And let's pull a card to see kind of timing wise, when does this part come into play? Because I mean, these two are definitely tied together, whether it's that you have this breakthrough type of epiphany of, oh, this is what my life path is, so everything needs to go, or whether it's, that everything needs to go first, and then you feel like, oh, now I see why all this happened. But let's take a look and see timing wise when that appears. It says by the next full moon. So depending on, let's see, it kind of depends on when you're watching this, but since we have a full moon, roughly every 28 days, I don't know offhand when the next one is, but I'm guessing that it's going to be sometime in the, call it 23rd to 28th of October. So, pretty quick in terms of having some of these realizations of, oh, this is the direction I need to go. So not necessarily that you're fully on the path and you're doing it all, but kind of having that, I guess that moment of feeling like, okay, this is what I'm supposed to be doing, and here's what needs to change in order for that to happen. So let's take a look at our Gaia cards and see what all other messages come through. The dream, something is revealed, insight and breakthrough. This is something, if you're not doing it, I would recommend that you do. So with the dream, you get a lot of insight in your dreams, and that can be your spirit guide's way of communicating with you. It can also be your own intuition communicating with you. Oh, here we got a couple jumper cards. Let's take a look at those. The Great Gathering. It's all coming together. Intuitive hits and soul tribe. And align your life. What is not aligned or needs to change? So, what is not aligned? It's whatever this tower is. Whatever that tower is that has to go in order to bring in this new vision, this new breakthrough. But yeah, if you are not doing a dream journal, I would recommend doing it. And that's something, so I have a notebook, and it's interesting. I find if I get up and out of bed, even if it's just, go to the bathroom and come back to bed, it's like, oh, the details were lost. But if I'm still laying down and reach over and grab the notebook and start writing it down, I remember so many more details. And so if you started doing that, it would be interesting for you to be able to see what all messages are coming through, like what are the common threads coming through in your dreams. So your jumper card was change maker, make waves. So some of that is that tower energy of making waves, and it could also be from a work perspective. You need to make waves. You need to let go of the past, whatever that is, to be able to move forward into a happier path where you feel like you're living a life more true to yourself. And then this card, the edge of evolution feels messy. So as things change in your life, and if you watch the channel, you'll know how the colors speak differently. So even with this, what is not aligned or needs to change, like this hue is over here on the edges of it. So as you change, it's going to feel messy, but it's coming together. And really rely on your soul tribe and lean on other people to help you along your path and to help you stay true to what you feel you're being called to do. And that will hopefully help give you some additional energy and strength to be able to move in the direction that suits you and that feels like it lights your soul up. So I hope that today's message has been helpful for you. And if this is information that you think somebody else could benefit from, I would welcome you to share it. And as always, take only what resonates and leave the rest behind. So there's going to be a few new videos posting within the next week. And then I'm also going to do a special one for the eclipse. So if you want to make sure to be alerted as to when those videos post. Hit the subscribe and the notification bell, and that way you'll receive those alerts. Otherwise, I wish you peace and joy along your journey. Until next time, bye-bye.